Hey everybody, it's Laurie Blomer here on Sunday, September 3rd for this week's card pull for spiritual reflection and spiritual inspiration. For those of you who've been following along, welcome back. For those of you who are new to this, I've been pulling a card a week since the very beginning of January, and it's something I find really helpful and centering. Just gives me something to focus on for the week. For spiritual reflection and spiritual inspiration. Sometimes I pick one card, sometimes I pick two cards. I mix it up a little bit in terms of the decks that I like to work with. So welcome. As always, I'm going to pull cards. I'm going to give you my take on them, what I'm going to take away from them for this week for spiritual reflection and spiritual inspiration. I encourage all of you to follow your own intuition. These cards are going to speak to you differently than they might for me, and to look beyond the face value message and pay more attention to say, what is it about that card that really jumps out to me? Is it the words? Is it the images? Is it the overall feel? Is it the emotion being conveyed? This is not intended to be a predictive kind of reading, but more to say, what can I, from my own spiritual growth, reflect upon, be inspired by this week, to have it be an even more enjoyable, more illuminating, and more growth-oriented week. That's kind of the reason why I do it for myself, and I welcome anyone who wants to follow along. Okay, in terms of the cards that I'm working with this week, I'm working with two decks. One of them is Denise Linn's Traveler, Sacred Traveler Oracle. Here's the box. You can get a good look at it. You can probably tell the colors are gorgeous. So these sort of jewel tone, watercolors, tones. I like this deck because it covers sort of the gamut of life experience. The imagery is beautiful, offers words. It also offers some things that could be interpreted as affirmations for those of you who like that as an element of your card deck. The other one that I'm working with is called Nikisha's Oracle. It's Nikisha Vanderhoven, I think it's how her name is pronounced. She's on Etsy. Again, beautiful colors, and it's kind of the reason why, and also just a lot of imagery from nature, which really appeals to me. She has numbers on her cards. The other deck doesn't. This does, in the event that numbers mean something to you. And again, just gorgeous imagery. So I'm going to pull the card first for sort of what's the overall message for this week from Denise Linn's deck. This is a nice sturdy deck too. These cards are really thick. And sadly, some cards are made better than others in the manufacturing process, which means they're more or less durable. This one's, these are nice and thick and sturdy. All right, so as always, when I'm shuffling, I focus on a message for spiritual reflection, spiritual inspiration, with the intention of it being something that I'm going to benefit from and that it will benefit and speak to every person that watches this video. And with that, I just shuffle until I feel like I'm really connecting with that inspired place, that place that's ready to reflect. And then I pull a card. There are a lot of different ways to pull cards. When I'm standing up like this, I just sort of split them with my hands. If I was working with a table, I might do it a little bit differently. So let's see here. Pull a card, pull a card, pull a card. I always pull a few from the center. Not looking at anything when I look off to the side. Nobody's there. Just a way for me to, giving me something to visually focus on while I really drop into my body and say, when does this feel right? When does this feel ready? And it's ready. Okay. Cake's baked. Now I'm ready to do it. I split with my hands, and the one that my thumb is on is the one that I look at. Traveling lightly. Simplify your life. You know, one of the things that's kind of funny about Labor Day weekend, which it is here in the United States, is for whatever reason there's been a tradition of, and I think it has something to do with just the change of seasons, back to school, of yard sales. People just getting rid of stuff. So this message of saying, simplify your life, I love this. It's kind of like what looks like a trash can or a basket where he's dumped some stuff. And now he's just traveling with this light backpack. I think the inspiration for this one is pretty simple and pretty direct, in that it could be literally be I need to simplify my life. I need to travel lighter in terms of what I'm bringing along. Maybe it is a great time. I always think it's a great time, cathartic, to go through my closets, to get rid of things I'm not using anymore. I don't need any more, and particularly if they might be something that somebody else might benefit from. But the other thing about traveling lightly that is not lost on me, and interestingly, we have fall colors here. And of course, we're in September now, and we have just a few weeks of summer left, and we're already starting to see things begin to transition and change of season. It's emotional. It's how do I move forward in my path of life to say, you know what? I'm tired of carrying things that aren't mine. tired of carrying emotions that just don't serve me anymore. I just don't have a place in my life. So it might be my emotional attachments to things and experiences from my past. It might be emotional attachments to people I felt I needed to carry. And we all know we really can't carry anybody else. So we can't walk anybody else's journey. We can support them, but we can't carry them. So I would think about this from a few different angles. And of course, in whatever way it resonates with you. But that idea of traveling lightly, simplifying your life, there are a multitude of ways to doing that. And we all know when we simplify anything, it feels better. Feels less cumbersome, feels easier, feels lighter. So follow that inspiration. Now I'm picking up on Nikisha's Oracle. Again, shuffling some cards here. And we're just going to pull, sometimes you call them clarifiers when you're looking for additional messages to add additional clarity to the first card. I'm going to pull this one just to say, what else do I need to know? What else might I consider to give context to this idea of traveling lightly and simplifying my life? So again, focusing on that intention. You always have to focus on your intention when you're shuffling the cards, because intuitively, your intuition is going to respond to that. So you always want to approach cards with some sort of focal point. It's kind of like garbage in, garbage out. If I don't know what I'm focusing on, then I'm not likely to as clearly understand the answer. So we're looking for inspiration, and we're looking for a little more nuance to this traveling lightly idea. So I'm going to, let me see, pull one more, maybe one more. All right, I'm going to pull from this deck. The thumb is on this card, Wisdom. All right, let me say something about this. First of all, I've been doing some work with animal totems, and an animal totem that I discovered or met over the course of the summer was the owl totem. It represents to me wisdom, inner wisdom, that inner compass that knows what's right and wrong, the inner guidance system, if you will. And I'm just laughing because what do we have here? We have a suggested image of an owl. We also have this image of what looks like a sand clock, one of those sand timers. So I love that idea. And we also have what looks like a path that's going forward. It's kind of nice how these two cards talk to each other, if you can see them. It's like the time's right to do this. And I'm using my wisdom to say what really can go materially, emotionally, spiritually, intellectually. Might be dropping some old ideas that don't serve you anymore. So look at this as an opportunity for nuance here. It might literally be stuff that I'm traveling more lightly without. It might be also just reflecting on what I now know that informs me about what I can start to get rid of, whether it is ideas, emotions, what have you. So have some fun with this one. There's also number 40 on this that might have significance for you. Thinking of somebody who might be 40 years old, for example, or approaching their 40th year, or again, 40 just might mean something else to you. Also in numerology, 40 is the number 4 in numerology. The 0 adds some intensity to it. That's about structure. It's about rules. It's about due diligence, following through, having a plan, proceeding in a planful, mindful way in order to manifest. So that could be part of it too, is just taking it from the approach of planful approach. So there you go. Hope you have some fun with these inspired thoughts. Love to hear how your week goes for you and how these themes play out in your life. LaurieBlomer.com. My email is laurieblomer@psychic@gmail.com. Would love to help you. Would love to work with you. I hope you have a great inspired week and have some fun lightening your load. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.